Hi, I'm Mackenzie McComas.
And I'm Connor Spalding.
And this is your RCHS News.
Here's what's coming up for the first episode of the new season of RCHS News.
My name's Addie Pittman, and I'll be bringing you a story on the RCHS breakfast.
Hi, I'm James Mallory, and I'll be giving you the story on the exchange students.
I'm Angel Wetter, and I'll be bringing you the story on the K9 here at RCHS.
Hi, I'm Atticus Weekly, and I'm going to be bringing you the Fall Sports Lookout.
I'm Clayton B., and I'll be bringing you a story on the backpack policy.
My name's Sam Summers, and I'll be bringing you a story on the solar eclipse.
First, let's catch up with Sam Summers for a calendar update.
On Friday the 15th, there will be an early dismissal, and the football team will travel to Calhoun County. On Thursday the 21st, there will be a volleyball game at home. On Friday the 22nd, the football team will travel to Doddridge County. Tuesday the 26th will be the end of the first 6 weeks. On Friday the 29th, it is Picture Day, Report Card Day, and the football team will be traveling to Ravenswood. On Friday the 15th, there will be an early dismissal, and the football team will travel to Calhoun County.
Thanks, Sam.
Now let's start our day off right with a story on the RCHS breakfast.
Students start the year off at RCHS with the new free breakfast and lunch policy. We caught up with student Lakin McDonald to get her thoughts on the breakfast.
Well, I think that high schoolers should be allowed to get breakfast as soon as they get here and sit down and eat instead of having to take it to the classrooms every morning.
McDonald says there are clear benefits to the new breakfast bags.
They're awesome because they're plastic and they're not paper, so when I get a bunch of stuff, it's not going to fall out the bottom anymore.
Cook Donna Hiley explains in depth why we use plastic instead of paper bags.
Last year when the State Department came in, we always have to have a reimbursable meal. When you guys grab something and take it and put it in a paper bag, we don't always know that you've got 3 things or a fruit. You have to have 3 things and a fruit. So they had checked a few people out, and there was a couple that wasn't reimbursed. And if they find that very often, then they'll cut our whole state funding off. So this year we went to plastic bags so that we could actually see that you actually have 3 things and a fruit.
We stopped by Mrs. Wagner's office to get her thoughts on the school's breakfast. She expresses her concern on why it is important for students to take advantage of the free breakfast.
It's great for students. It's wonderful for parents not to have to pay that bill. Concerned that it's the beginning of the year. You probably have a lot of students that are still, I don't want to be late for class, I don't want to be late for class. I want to make sure that our teachers are encouraging students to go get that breakfast, bring it in there, don't spend all block 90 minutes pilfering through it and eating, get it done and get it thrown away. But I'm hoping that our numbers are going to continue to increase because we want to keep this free breakfast and lunch.
Mrs. Wagner has an idea on how she can keep students interested in the breakfast program.
Maybe us do a competition between classes, 9th versus 10th, 10th versus 11th, all of them. Which class has the highest percentage of eaters for breakfast? And a reward could be once a week, once every 2 weeks. We can get those numbers together and let that class go early for lunch to encourage the eating of breakfast and lunch.
As long as students keep eating, we can have free breakfast next year. Mrs. Wagner and Lakin talked about the inconveniences of the time-consuming schedule and lines, but the upside of the free breakfast is low-income students are not singled out. If we do not keep breakfast and lunch numbers up, we have a chance of losing it next year. This is Addie Pittman reporting to you from RCHS.
Now let's head to James to meet Ida and Ava Maria, our new foreign exchange students.
This August, Rchs County High School got 2 new exchange students, Ava Maria Posch and Ida Kauto from Austria and Finland. The language spoken in Austria is German. Now we will hear Ava introducing herself in her language.
Hi, ich bin Eva, ich bin 16 Jahre alt und ich komme aus Österreich. Ich wohne circa 20 Minuten entfernt von Wien und ich verbringe ein Semester in den USA. Hi, I'm Eva, I'm 16 years old and I'm from Austria and I live like 20 minutes ago from Vienna and I spent half a year in the USA.
Now Ida introduces herself in Finnish.
Moi, mun nimi on Iida, mä oon 17 vuotta ja mä oon suomalainen. Mä asun Jyväskylässä Keski-Suomessa ja mä vietän tämän vuoden Amerikassa. Hi, my name is Ida. I'm 17 years old and I'm from Finland. I live in central Finland, Jyväskylä, and I'm spending this year in USA.
According to Ava, Austria is famous for its landscape.
Austria has lots of mountains, and the language we speak in Austria is German. Austria is divided into 9 counties, and the capital is Vienna.
Ava tells that in Austria, the length of the classes is different than the USA.
We don't have like 90-minute school lessons, we have just 60 minutes, and we also don't have like 1 hour lunch.
According to Ida, Finland is a safe country to live in.
Finland is the safest country in the world, and we have the best education.
Ida points out that the students in the Finnish school system learn more languages.
In Finland, children start school at age 7, and the students learn more languages than in the USA. Like every student in Finland knows at least 3 languages.
According to English and video journalism teacher Mr. McPeak, having exchange students is almost like visiting their countries.
Not very many of us are able to travel to other countries, but if we can bring a student from another country here, it's almost like we get the experience of going there.
Ritchie County High School is always excited to have exchange students from different countries who bring diversity to our school. We hope Ida and Ava are going to have an amazing year. This is James from Ritchie County High School News. Thanks for watching.
Now that the story is finished, we have Angel sniffing on a story on Officer Jackson's furry companion.
Everyone is wondering about the new dog and his purpose here at RCHS.
We sat down with Officer Jackson to get the scoop on Max. Here's what he had to say.
Max is, he's 5 years old this year. He is a dual-purpose dog. That means he will do narcotics and odor. He will track and he will bite. He came from Germany. He was a competition dog for 2 years in Germany. That is where, you know, they work through his obedience, takedowns. The training for me was getting to know him. He already knew his obedience and his bite work from being a competition dog in Germany.
Okay.
Now I got him. I had to work with him for almost a month to learn his commands, to get known him. The guy I purchased a dog from is McCord Canine out of West Virginia. He was my trainer, still is my trainer. We worked with him to do the odor work with him. That is identify the narcotics, different kinds from marijuana to meth to heroin to cocaine. We also done the tracking. We taught him how to track while he was here. Well, they all want to love him like he's a house dog. They're all very well liking him. They like him being in the school system. They think it's going to be a good thing for the school system, is helping keep the narcotics and helping with some other issues in the school. He's a Dutch Shepherd. He, like I said, he came from Germany. Competition dog here. He's very well loved. He likes to be rubbed on. He likes to be petted. He loves the attention. But his switch turns pretty quick, pretty easy, just from a different command. If he's on a lead, his attitude changes. He knows he's working. If he sees his tennis ball, and that is a reward toy for drug work, if I have it out in my hand, he knows it's time to work. So when that happens, we don't want no teacher or student to come up and try to pet him or try to love on him, because he is in working mode.
As you can see, Max is a lovable companion, but when it comes down to it, he's all work and no play. And here's what student Atticus Weekly had to say.
I think the dog's really cute. I think it will benefit the school in a lot of ways. I think it will help cut down on the drug problem that I think we've had the past couple years, and it's a good idea, and I like it. I like Mr. Jackson, so hopefully it works out for us.
We also caught up with teacher Miss Stokes to get her thoughts on Max.
Whether we want to admit it or not, I think we have a drug issue here at Ritchie County High School, so I think that having Max here is a benefit to make the school safer and a healthier place to be for most students.
One thing is for sure, teachers and students agree Max is a welcome addition. This has been Angel Water reporting for RCHS News.
Thanks, Angel. Hey, Mackenzie, why did the dog think the tree needed a vet?
I don't know why.
Because it didn't have any bark.
Now we'll hand it off to Atticus for your Rebel Fall Sports Outlook.
Fall sports are underway at Rchs, and the teams have been working hard to prepare for their seasons. We caught up with Athletic Director Caleb Lawrence to hear his insight on fall sports at Rchs.
Well, I think I have a positive outlook. Excited to see the kids get out there and compete. The golf team's doing well, volleyball team. I like to see the football team get things turned around.
We asked senior Josh Brandon about the golf team's goals this year.
Our goal this season as a team is to end up in the state tournament, get down there and try to get a state title and bring back hardware to the school.
We ran into Chase Sullivan, who only had good things to say about the cross-country team this season.
I think the season is going great, and we're 2 meets in, and we're amazing.
Cheer senior Angel Udder is hopeful for the team's improvement throughout this season.
Hopefully to place at least third at regionals or LKC. Hopefully we get to keep moving on up to at least state.
Quarterback Tatum McCoy believes that the football team can intercept some wins this season.
I think we all just want to win. It's been 3 years now, so winning would be nice.
We passed over some questions about the volleyball program to Cassie Tallman, and she set us up with some great answers.
Our strengths are probably our height, except for me, obviously, and Abby, but somehow Abby still gets up and hits the ball.
Tallman has set her standards high for the Lady Rebels.
To win LKC, sectional, regional, and then we're going to win state. That's my goal.
This has been Atticus Weekly, catching you up on the Fall Sports Lookout.
Thanks, Atticus. Up next, Clayton B. packs up a story about an important policy here at RCHS.
Upon returning to school, students have found that RCHS administrators have strengthened the backpack policy. Some students are confused by the policy. In this report, we will attempt to clear up some of the confusion. We met with Roxy Monroe and Chloe Campbell on their disagreements on the backpack policy.
So many books you have to carry around for like 4 different books. They're always really big and heavy, and when I go upstairs, I always end up dropping my books and I look stupid.
Also, you wouldn't be late for class because you'd have to go to your locker and have to get different books for each class, so it'd be easier to make it to class on time.
Sophomore Chiana Kerr has a positive and negative feeling about the backpack policy.
The backpack policy, I'm a bit on both. I'm against it because some people really did abuse it last year. A lot of people brought big backpacks. I've tripped over many of them, and I'm not a very clumsy person. I'm also against it because I normally brought a drawstring bag to each of my classes. It made it easier for me to carry my books from home and to school.
We met with RCHS Vice Principal, Mr. Lawrence, to explain the policy.
You're not allowed to carry your book bags or drawstring bags to your classroom. Supposed to be in their lockers. We actually did have a little box, like if you went to the airport, if your carry-on bag doesn't fit, you can't. So if it fits underneath your desk, you're allowed to have it.
Officer Jackson, resource officer at RCHS, talks about safety concerns that go with the backpack policy.
It throws up a few red flags for us, as in concealing gun, knife. Also, it involves in concealing narcotics, marijuana.
We met back with Mr. Lawrence to explain the disciplinary action for not following the policy.
Well, you're going to start off with D-Hall probably. If it's a everyday occurrence, then you're going to graduate from after school, to after school detention to in-school suspension. It shouldn't really be that big a deal. We told everybody the first couple days of school, your teachers have harped on you, so really at this point in time, there shouldn't be anybody having their book back. First couple days of school, we had some kids that had some locker issues. They couldn't get their locker open, so they maybe had their backpack one day. We spoke to those students, resolved those issues, so it shouldn't really be a problem now.
RCHS teacher Mr. Darday explains the importance of following the rules.
What does it matter what I think of the backpack policy? It is what it is, and I have to enforce it. I follow orders or people die.
Like it or not, after meeting with the teachers and students, we have concluded that the backpack policy is here to stay. This is Clayton B. from RCHS News, signing off. Hey Sam, what does a chicken call its backpack?
Oh no, what?
A bok.
For our final story, Sam Summer shed some light on the recent solar eclipse.
On August 21st, students at RCHS viewed the so-called Great American Solar Eclipse in part of its glory. We caught up with Mrs. Schimmel to hear her thoughts on this rare event.
It was pretty interesting. We had 85% blockage of the sun by the moon, but the sun being as bright as it is, it didn't look as spectacular as I think a lot of students were hoping for. The color of everything outside was a little bit kind of strange. It looked like a storm was getting ready to hit. If you looked at your shadow, it was really crisp as opposed to having fuzzy edges. but I think a lot of students were a little underwhelmed with a little disappointed with the eclipse, but it's still a pretty cool thing to happen.
A couple of RCHS students traveled south to view the eclipse in its totality. Zeke Davis gave us his take on the full eclipse.
Well, I thought it was really cool. I think it's pretty much a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I think everyone should probably see a total solar eclipse at least once in their life. It was pretty cool.
I guess you could say the eclipse was totally amazing. Sam Summers signing off.
Thanks for the illuminating story, Sam. And that's it for this episode of RCHS News.
I'm Mackenzie McComas.
And I'm Connor Spalding.
See you next time.